Vocabio. Master English your way.
Google's Alexis de Tocqueville, and I recited a bunch of rules. You know, repetition doesn't...
Last one, which I think is a fantastic request. Could you recite a dialogue from the movie for us?
Do it. I won't recite all of his prizes, exhibitions, and publications.
Or, divine blessings. Most of them recite Quran or listen to the Quran. I know that because when I was in the middle...
Recanting the same sorts of, reciting the same sorts of progressive ideologies.
Ended up befriending this local Black newspaper man, and who were outside my circle, and befriending one of the country's leading, who were outside my circle, and befriending one of the country's leading
would get. So there's like starting from scratch, befriending your fear, reclaiming your power, and healing.
Read what other people were talking about, I realized that there's another reason why we seek out suffering and pain and difficulty.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that you lost me. I don't know when you lost me.
Involved in insuring the ship, and just simply said, you do realize that this is likely to be involved in embargo breaking, which actually...
They fear looking like they didn't realize 2016 happened. Now, that's simply the question of...
Very, very imaginative and clever persons had a kind of light bulb moment when they realized...
The day that you have made, and you said we'll rejoice and be glad in it. Father, we thank you. We cannot thank you.
January 6th, and Democrats are rejoicing. They think these people are immediately going to over...
Very specialized ones. Means that I rejoice that a book that's actually doing theology in lots of ways, in the sense...
Know when to quit was important.
The me lovers rejoice at that comment, that there were just some that... They're just...
Being Breckenridge cherishing of the Jewish people who were on the book, yes. Yeah. And Eleanor Roosevelt...
Technique of using a very simplified step sequences, minimize the changes required on mission.
On the body's needs, it will seep into various organs, into the blood, into the liver.
Trying to stir blood flow into my wooden feet. The cold had seeped into my brain, and I kept thinking that I was going to lose.
As a light seeping into a pitch dark room, helping our eyes adjust so we can begin.
On cheese, just so the liquid doesn't seep out of it. So the good thing was when I got back from...
For anyone out there, it's just a way to restart play. There's a couple ways to do that. There's a line out, which is sort of...
I was very young. My dad was hitting the restart button. My mother was trying to find a pathway out of poverty.
From it, you put it back and you restart again for another 15 minutes, take it out and you do it 4 times.
Came in and I decided to restart it and renovate it,
and so that's when I kind of restarted this other strand in my life of technology.
And it's just that moment where you can like unplug for even just a few minutes. So I try to prep, and
love Tumio, love the unplugged version even better in my opinion, just because the harmonic chords.
It's unplugged. He's controlling the cursor entirely with decoded neural activity.
Looking forward to just kind of unplugging, possibly not answering any emails for a week or so.
Disconnecting, it was reconnecting rather than unplugging, it was plugging back in, and he was actually getting in touch with.
Knows its own architecture and can readjust its nervous system to match changes. When a new room...
Ask the network, how would you want to readjust your weights in a way that the next time you might get the right...
Like they're having much more difficult time readjusting to being civilians. They're 2 times more likely.
However, we actually have almost redeemed ourselves even inside slavery. We were...
The position that he believes the Constitution can be redeemed if read in a particular way, that it can be made into a...
The women that we've been told we're supposed to adore.
Right. And then also the fact that her name...
With this stepdaughter that obviously adored her dad and wasn't sure about stepmom. That's...
Worship Beethoven. I adore Beethoven. But I also worship Bach, and I adore...
Charismatic and smart and articulate and a massive reader, and she adored Serenai. And
everything in the Elven section is... I absolutely just adore, but I actually might say the same thing.
To make my chashu. So it's like a marinated egg, but I use that.
Is it marinated in olive oil?
Yeah, so you fry it.
Accurate information
they're on the ground, marinating in the reality of these places, seeing that they're too.
I just make the sauce because I feel like as it marinates, it gets better and better. The flavors get to meld, and again.
But I am just an amuse-bouche to a full buffet of extraordinary speakers to
voice. And he was very amused one day when I asked him if I could purchase his voice.
Student newspapers. Yes, John.
Mike Sutton and I were amused to see in that article that they called the stags.
There goes Frank Drake. He's quite amused. He's never been asked to sign a server before.
Office, designed to amuse their male counterparts. And I talked.
And that way I'm able to show it to the person on goggles while they're lying in the neuroimaging scanner.
Sort of to the right, he's the one in the goggles. And so as part of the
inside of it, you can see us wearing goggles and masks because for the first time, someone's going in there.
We aren't proposing real solutions, then they will reappear in the mirror world and there will be these sort of fake.
Removed from the cluster, but then would reappear in the cluster after some reasonable amount of time. And where
Christ is going to come when he reappears. Russia has.
You'll notice that chair reappearing. That's my skateboard chair. There's 2 skateboard decks.
It went home at night. And then it would reappear the next day and begin spreading all over again. The
Holocaust cries, beware of big, repeated lies, conspiracy theory.
Bet with a mathematician, so beware of mathematicians bearing gifts. Thanks very much, you've been fantastic. Cheers.
Say might sound stupid, beware, but I think that we can become more creative.
Eric named, decide with data, beware the bobble-headed yes, and know when to ring the bell.
Upon a face, beware, the heart is lean.
That issue was raised, that issue was ventilated, it was discussed widely.
A place to spend the day when it's too hot, how you could ventilate it.
To the then Lady Harwood, to and fro, asking, how's my son?
Up from below, we have the chimney that ventilates the studios. The roofs of the studios are also made.
Today, right? We ventilate the indoor air with outdoor air, but we might not be doing it in.
It compounds more evidence of how unfit he is and how he was absolutely the wrong person.
Navel-gazing, wringing our hands, complaining about how unfit the president was for office. It was not our job.
Conservatives are unfit to govern.
Well, as you say, he may have.
Despite the risk and fear that resides there, it breathes life into me. If I can show you.
Many of the folks that do reside in that neighborhood face tremendous challenges economically.
As the proud mother of 2, Deborah resides in Los Angeles. Deborah, welcome to our virtual.
Because there's a certain level of craftsmanship that resides within Italy, that you do things with your hands, and there might be.
There's an advisor to the Tsar, somebody called Nilus, and it.
In the name of kneeling to protest racial injustice and police brutality.
But in society, I'm like a soldier kneeling on soft mats. Everything.
And activists didn't even bother trying to talk to corporate leaders. Their entire focus on.
Bother leaving. But it does have that unique to my.
That I always. That really bothers me is that Bitcoiners in general.
And I say to him, sorry, why are you bothered about all this? And he said, no, you don't understand. I think I will.
You obviously all know who Gillian is, otherwise you wouldn't have bothered coming here tonight. But I'll run through just some of her achievements.
Vocabio, available in Google Play. Download, discover, improve your English.